made a mistake. So Ambassador Weah, I was to say just went out. So we're gonna go ahead and come to you. I will introduce myself to you. This good day, fellow Liberians and friends of Liberia. Today is May 4th, 2014. My name is Deepo from the second, your moderator, and this is Liberia Destiny Debaters. That's all. Speaking Liberia's destiny through say what public political discourses in its totality. Tonight, we are privileged to welcome Liberia's soccer legend, the world's best player, Africa's best humanitarian, the political leader of the mighty Congress for Democratic Change, Ambassador George Weah. Ambassador Weah, welcome to the debaters.
Hello, how are you?
Good. Could you go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself? I know that you are the ambassador of peace for our motherland, so go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself before we go to our line here, sir.
Well, my name is Ambassador Weah. Born and grew up in Gibraltar, and I am a Liberian, leader of the Congress for Democratic Change.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, and what can I say about myself?
Thank you, Ambassador Weah. Ambassador Weah, I'm going to open the line here for questioning. But Ambassador Weah, again, my name is D. Flomo. I'm the host of Liberia Destiny Debaters. My co-host is Samia Sonuga-Ben. He's also with us here. But let's take the first question from our end. Perhaps the only question, because of the number of human beings we have on the line here, Liberians in the diaspora, according from all over the world, we need to listen to you. Let's go to our democracy, Liberia's emerging democracy. Where do you think we are at this time, and what do you think that we are supposed to go? We hope to achieve if Liberia is to sustain itself in a democracy after 14 years of self-destruction, sir.
Well, first of all, thank you very much. I think our democratic state threatened after two elections, after the irregularity of elections, and I think we need to be more honest about democracy and make sure that elections are held in a way that there will be the general rules of transparency and people go to the election happy and leave in election after 15 years of civil war. But I think our democracy stayed a little bit threatened, and we have the responsibility as Liberians to make sure that we put in the mechanism that will, hold our democracy and make it a better one.
Thank you, Ambassador Weah. Ambassador Weah, let's take our first caller. The first caller will come from caller 2582. Your name and where you calling from? One question per caller, please. We have a huge list.
Yes, sir. I will do that. Yes, Ambassador Weah, my name is Dakamo Ray. Great to have you on the show.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and Mr. Weah, I'm very proud of you, because I know I grew up in Liberia. I know your history. I know that you came from high school, wanted to play football. You did not get your education on time, and you just completed a master's degree in America. And I teach as a professor here, associate professor, so I know what it means for a young men like you to go through high school, go to college in America and graduate. People may say you bought the degree, but don't listen to that. But to make this thing plain and simple, Mr. Weah, just tell us your vision for Liberia, how you want to achieve this thing. How you going to do it? Just tell us.
Well, thank you very much. I think we're told to maximize our actual potential. The fact that I had a passion and I had an opportunity to finish my last year in high school and then go to a professional career, in sports. you know, it never changed anything for me because I knew that one day I have the opportunity to go back to classroom. But again, I'm glad and I'm very proud, you know, and I hope that young people, you know, emulate that positive example. And I want to thank you for the word of encouragement. But I think my vision for our country is to unite our people, to bring our country together, for every Liberian to have a share of the Liberian dream, you know, in the area where we have an inclusive government where all Liberians can participate, both Liberians home and in the diaspora. That's my vision that would make sure that Liberians from everywhere will come together, and our people that don't have means of going to hospital, you know, we can all get together and have the best facility and believe in healthcare and education for our people. That's the vision that I have, you know, for our country.
Thank you, Doug. Correct. Do you have a recommendation for Ambassador Weah? We want to take the next one, please. We got a huge crowd late here tonight.
Yeah, Mr. Weah, I got an advice for you. The only advice I have is that you, as a young man, you know, wanting to be president for Liberia, we have gone through a lot of stuff, and one of the main way by which you're going to be successful is to put the right people around you. Is to ask these people, do you believe in my vision? Don't just select people because I know John Brown for X amount of years and I know Mr. Walker for Z amount of years. So you put your vision and say, look, I want to build a railway from a subway from Monrovia to Grenada. So you ask this person, how can you help me build this railway from Monrovia to Grenada? If they cannot tell you how they can help you build our railway, you tell them, so you know what, you can be a part of me. You can be my friend. So what am I trying to say in short is that find those people that will be able to tell you, say, I know how we can build a road from Monrovia to Maryland, from Monrovia to Lofa. So I hope you can use a process where you vet your friends and just don't do it based on friendship, because if you do that, I can tell you're going to fail. So in order for you to be a good leader, you got to have the right people around you that will guide you, and you got to listen to them. And you got to be open. You got to be able to listen to people as they talk to you. You go home, you digest it and say, why did this person say so and so to me? If you can follow that simple principle of leadership, you'll be a very good leader, because I can tell you from my theory, from leadership, it tells me that leaders, I told people, very few leaders are short. So that tells me that Mr. Weah is indeed a presidential candidate. He can be a president. So, Mr. Weah, I wish you the best of luck, and I hope you can win this thing when the time comes, okay? Good luck, sir.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, and this is why I keep, again, and talking to people, you know, to come on board so we can help make Liberia a better place. And I take your advice, and I've done my best since I've been the leader of the Call for Democratic Change. I put both seek people advices, and then the other people come on board. And I just want you to know it again. I got so many friends, and I don't believe in what my critics say, that everybody around me are my friends, and it's not true. But again, Liberia is not based on friendship, you know, and I hope that one day, the truth, when we take leadership, people will see how we work. I think we all have a responsibility to build our country. You know, that's about where you come from. You know, it doesn't matter. But again, as you said, in leadership, a leadership role, but the best leader, you know, is the leader that have a team. And we want to build a team, a good leadership team that we will not boss people around, but to drive people to be honest with themselves, our people, and our beliefs, to fix what is broken. So again, I must applaud you for your advice, and I'll take that advice and make sure that all of the people that we bring around, that we go to solicit, you know, the expertise, you know, to be those people also with credibility, and then that willing to help, and not just willing to just come on board and then suppress the very people that we're trying to help. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ambassador Weah. Ambassador Weah, we're going to take the next caller. The next caller is an anonymous caller. Caller, go ahead and tell us where you're calling from tonight.
Good afternoon, D-Flow and Ambassador Weah. I start off by saying thank you, Ambassador, for all you've done in your personal and public life as a Liberian. My name is Sia, and I'm calling from Washington, D.C. My question focuses on political legitimacy versus political authority. Ambassador, we know that elections confer legitimacy on political process and thereby promote the activities of that leader, that person who is elected. Government power is known as authority, and legitimacy is the consensus of the citizens that that person who is elected is rightful and should be obeyed. Given the level of malfeasance and corruption in Liberia, in light of millions of dollars in donor aid, do you agree that corruption in Liberia is rampant because Johnson Sirleaf has political authority and not political legitimacy? And as a result, she cannot speak against the behavior and attitudes of those accused of egregious acts because she does not have the legitimacy to administer the rule of law in concert with the other branches of government?
Go ahead, Ambassador.
Well, I'm glad that it's a very good question, but again, there's our country we're going to talk about. It's about corruption and nepotism and all that, which is wrong. But I don't support corruption, and I hope not to, practice that. Make sure that I account for everything that I do. But again, we talk about political legitimacy. I mean, first of all, let us agree that we went to an elections, and the election was not transparent. So there's corruption. It started from there. So that, I think what needs to be done to fix what is destroying our democracy. So that we start from the election commission, where the commissions are put in not by people, to find independent people, and there should be the rule of law of the election should be practical. When people go to vote, we see that transparency be the order of the day. And of course, on all of the things are accepted, and the corruption starts from that point. But again, no one are going to accept corruption. But again, what do we really want to do about it? It's just to fix the system. So as a political leader, that we can talk. But again, our people in the House of Representatives, these are the people we talk to see how they can speak about those things. And for all that political party, we don't want to be heard as just people talking. So we know that there's some form of corruption. But again, we have to identify where they are and what is going on, but through our people in the house. So it's been very difficult, in Liberia, where some people are not cooperating. And but again, in every society, we talk about corruption. I mean, no one wants to accept corruption, so we have to fight to stop it. How are we going to stop it? And by putting the right people and believing in working together and to help find solution to social problems.
Thank you, Ambassador Weah. Ambassador Weah, we got about 900 calls right now, so just condense it, get to the point a little bit. You can give us a little bit of meat if you want to, because of we don't know how many minutes you're going to spend with us. So, go ahead if you have a recommendation for the peace ambassador.
Well, as I told you,
for 2 hours with us.
I will be on. I said, of course, this is about going to get credit and refitting and all that. So, if the night, it doesn't matter. So I will be on. So just bear with me when I go off. Know that I will be coming on again.
Okay, that's good. Once you can do that, we are fine with that because 900 callers right now in the queue. Quora, go ahead, give us your recommendation if you have one for the Peace Ambassador of the Republic of Liberia.
Yes, I believe. Thank you for your answer. First of all, secondly, my recommendation would be that CDC should look at a model that will sustain the citizens' trust in elected leaders after the tenure of Mrs. Sirleaf, because obviously now the issue of trust between the citizens and the elected leaders must be reestablished because we have a system that is broken, and everyone thought that she would be able to fix it, but obviously, we know now that may not be. But that would be my only recommendation, and I wish you Godspeed in your political endeavors.
Well, thank you. I take that recommendation, but I hope that we'll all get together to fix what is broken, and we have to move beyond what is going on to prepare ourselves for fixing what is wrong. I think that's the most important, but I take the recommendation. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ambassador Weah. We want to take this time to welcome CDC USA National Chairman Xavier Tupa. Chairman Tupa, welcome to the debaters. Chairman Tupa, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you, D-Flow. Thanks.
Yes, welcome to the debaters. We have with us your political leader.
Yeah, on behalf of CDC USA and all the supporters and sympathizers of the CDC, Ambassador Weah, I would like to welcome you to the call, and we are glad that you made yourself available to speak to the people. As you know, we all know there's a demand for your appearance, and we are happy that you are here with us. So thank you, and we wish you have a very great show.
Thank you. Thank you. We're going to take the next one.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I was just about to call you, but tomorrow I will call you because I'm organizing the Grand Gila and Lima County Friendship. And a lot of people I want to be involved in the diaspora. And I'm going to call you to let you know that we'll come into the States to host a meeting so our people can participate in the peace building process of our country.
That's a wonderful announcement, and I'm sure a lot of people listening are excited about that, and we look forward to doing any of the logistical support that you need. Thank you.
Thank you. Ambassador Weah, we're going to take our next call. The next one will come from 4380. Your name and where you calling from?
Thank you, D-Flow. This is William Ponder. I'm calling from Boston, Massachusetts.
Welcome to the show tonight.
Thank you very much. Ambassador Weah, thank you very much for all that you've done for the country and that you continue to do to this very day. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, George. I have a question with regard to what I see as the hope and the aspiration of yourself as being president in the future. The country right now has a lot of what we call disaffected youth who are very impressionable, who see you as almost a messiah, who see you as one who will deliver for them, and rightly so. You know, what you stand for, those values that you've stood for, the ideals that you fought for. So they hang to every word. When they see you, they see their future in you. My issue and what I have to ask you today is, should you become president, given the limited constraints, the limited resources faced by every government, whether you become president or anyone has become president or became president in the past or will become president in the future, have been faced with limited constraints in terms of resource allocation. And how would you be able to deal with their over expectation of you? You got all those children in West Point, Yucatan, the entire length and breadth of Liberia that sees George Weah as their deliverer. And my issue is, how do you temper their expectations so that they don't have that over expectation? And should you not be able to deliver to each and every one of them, that they don't go and decide, that today you are my best friend, tomorrow you are my enemy?
How do you temper that as a president tomorrow? Because we want to make sure that stability under you is realized so you can achieve those goals and aspirations for yourself as a leader. Thank you. That's my question.
Thank you. But again, I don't think the young people see me as a messiah. I think young people see me as someone that care about them and that participated in their lives during the refugee days, and know that whenever I give them the chance to serve, I'll do my best to help, and then be part of the system that we all want to be in. So I don't see myself as a messiah. I don't think Seditionists see me as a messiah. And just the ideas of bringing good people together, coming together to help our people. And so how we're going to do this, like I said earlier to the lady that spoke, is to get the best brain on board, to make sure that we prioritize our people and the hope they looking for is to make sure that they have food on the table. We cannot be a small country like Liberia with 3.5 million people, and then with all the resources we have, we say there's not funds coming in. We should be able to generate funds from what we have. So that we will solicit to make sure that all we have here will be put in the right place to have all of the things we need to have in this country. Like for example, we have rubber, we have thermal, we have gold. That alone can bring resources to the country, and we have to be honest to make sure that we put in the facility to help the young people, encouraging them to go to school, building a facility, and making them to be meaningful people in our society. That's the hope they're looking for. They can be able to go to hospital even if they don't have money, that the government can give subsidy to help our people. That's the hope they're looking for. I don't think it's the Messiah hope they're looking for. No, they're looking for somebody that could help them. And the way that I'm going to do it, if I ever become president of this country, is to make sure that I meet my priorities. And my priorities are people to go to hospital, for people to be employed, by bringing facilities, making sure that I make my priority to be in the energy where the people will be attracted, and there'll be factories going to come into Liberia to help our children. So the hope the children are looking for is not because they see me as Messiah, because a lot of young people also were hoping that those people that support them will help them, but it's just that again, they are disappointed because they didn't see what they thought. But I believe that if I'm given the chance, I want to meet my priorities. And my priority is to work in the interest of the people, to help them, help the young people to leave the street. And these are some of the reasons when I left the Emirates, I came back to disarm the young children, to let them know that you have hope, and lay down their arms. And I would talk to government to help you people by going to school and doing some vocational training. But again, when there's no facility, then the hope is dashed. So the hope that it will not be that case when we are given the chance.
Thank you. Korat, give us a brief recommendation if you have one.
Yes, quickly. Thank you, and thank you for guiding my question that they don't see you as a Messiah. But they have a high grade expectation from you, and I think you yourself, as you have expressed that you have plans in which you want to involve the Liberian people. Whatever you do as a leader, I hope you involve the youth of the country, the young adults and youth. Have enough programs out there so that, as you talked about, involving them, educating them, having vocational training and other sorts of programs that would keep the youth involved in national life. And I think that would help to temper their expectation, making them feel like they are part of the solution and they are not someone that we have to necessarily account to, but that they are part of finding solutions to the country. And I think you'll be fine, and I look forward to watching you in getting life in the political life, becoming president, and we can all work together and help find solutions to the development of our country. Thank you, sir.
Well, I hope so, and I hope that I will see you when I come to the States that we can sit down and all, discuss and the future of our country, so we can put the ideas to a working tools.
Definitely. Thank you.
Thank you, Ambassador Weah. Ambassador Weah, our next caller is 5374. Your name and where you calling from?
My name is Isaac Johnny. I'm calling from Maryland, Baltimore, Maryland.
Welcome to the show. We have the Honorable Ambassador Weah.
Okay. Weah, thank you very much for appearing on the show. It's my first time chatting with you, and you promoted Liberia in a very good way everywhere. A Liberian sit and with another foreigner, your name is always George Weah, and I appreciate that and I applaud you for that. But politics again, and when you're in that game, it's just a sharp razor blade. You expect them to chat you any kind of way, So my question is, somebody asked you earlier about what is your intention, your platform that you have for the Liberian people? Are you going to be like the current government, the past government, to input your cabinet and don't utilize the local people in Liberia to help you build out the country, or are you going to input your cabinet if you become president?
Well, sir, I think if you heard me earlier, I said for government inclusion, and we must know that Liberians in America, Liberians in the diaspora, actually are part of our society, and also Liberians back home. So we all need to work together. So and I can guarantee you, that the cordiality that going to exist if I become president between the Liberian home and in the diaspora will be a great one, because disparity will not be the order of the day. But I think that there will be a good working relationship to help build a country and bring hope to the many people that are looking for hope.
Thank you, Carter.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Do you have a recommendation for Ambassador Weah?
Yes, I got a recommendation for my brother and friend and a soccer legend and politician. Like I said from the beginning, that politics is like a razor blade. It can cut you before you know it. You spoke about the Liberians in exile or abroad. But some of us in America, they are not proving themselves to be a patriotic Liberian. They go ahead and collect money on behalf of organizations and don't do nothing for the Liberian people. And if they're the kind of people that will be part of the government, you got to be careful. I would want you to utilize the people that are going to school locally and have their degrees. I think those people they work to be put in the cabinet than those that are in America, because obtaining your degree in the United States. Yes.
Yeah, I'm here.
Obtaining your degree in the United States.
You have to condense it. You can't have huge people waiting like this, please. Let's rush it through. I
know you're upset because you're also in the United States, so you'll be upset. But that's the truth I'm talking. You have to be sincere with our government. If you're not sincere, corruption is evil.
I would take the recommendation, but sir, and I'm sure they have a lot of good people in the States too, good Liberians, And again, we are trying to bring everybody on board for people to be evaluated. But I know there are a lot of people in the States. They got some good people. In every society, they got good people, they get bad people. But I think what is important for us, is not to try to look in people's hearts. Is try to evaluate people and bring them on board and give an example of your own life. You understand? Because if you are a leader and you are not cheating the people, I'm sure those who are working around you will not cheat, because there will be measures put in place that the kind of things that people don't see you with, they will not do it. Because when the measures put in place, then other people see it deter them from doing what they know is wrong. So but we cannot think that everybody in the state are not credible. No, both Liberians home and in the diaspora are credible people. We just need to assess them, reevaluate them, and then that's it.
Thank you, Ambassador Weah. Ambassador Weah, we're going to take caller 5508. Your name and where are you calling from?
This is Michael.
One
Padmore,
question per caller.
I'm calling from Minnesota. Ambassador Weah, your appearance here is much appreciated. My question concerns a letter that recently surfaced that was addressed to Benani Ure. It was a cease and desist letter concerning some activities that he was involved in. My question here to you is, did you approve of that letter, one? And if you did, can you please specify exactly what was the egregious act that was done by Mr. Ure that brought about that letter? Thank you so much.
Which letter are you talking about? Can you remind me? Did you write a letter?
Yes, there was a letter that was authored by, I believe, Gabla V. Williams. That was sent to Mr. Ure concerning his
on the
phone. And
no, go ahead. That was Ambassador. We go ahead. The ambassador is listening.
Okay, and so
listening.
That letter was addressed to Mr. Ure, and it was basically a cease and desist letter concerning activities that he was carrying on with friends of Ure, and the letter specified that he was going against the Constitution of the CDC. And so what it did not do was that it did not spell out exactly what activity or what action that had occurred that had gone against the Constitution of the CDC. So my question here to you is, one, was that letter approved by you? And if it was, can you please specify exactly what did Mr. Ure do that brought about that letter? Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you for the information. I think the letter you're talking about, I saw it. We have a chairman. We have an executive committee. Mr. Ure said he a member of the CDC. If you're a member of the Conference for Democratic Change, when you subscribe to the party, of course, the executive committee, we have bylaws. You cannot be a member of the party if you're not an executive committee and you go and organize or create or accelerate out of the confines of the bylaws. So I think that the letter you're talking about, if the chairman or the executive committee address to Mr. Ure was for him to make sure that activities align with the Club of Democratic Change activities since he was member. So that I think that's the letter you talk about. But if not, I did not see any other letter. If that other letter, then if Mr. Ure is a member of the CDC, then he shouldn't be organizing other auxiliaries, and that is not in the it's not part of the Constitution. So everybody must obey that Constitution that we all signed that road. I think that what the letter came about.
Thank you, Cora. Go ahead, give us your recommendation so we take the next one.
Okay, so my recommendation is just as a fellow Liberian, we are looking at the CDC to see how it behaves outside of leadership, to be able to determine if we can trust them with leadership. For you, one of the groups that have been affiliated with you is the Queens of Mana, which has been a very, very good group. So some of us have seen it as hypocrisy to see one group affiliated with you and you not receive a letter of cease and desist, but yet when Benani Ure comes up with his group, then all of a sudden there's a letter for him to cease whatever activity he is doing. We also know that he has made intentions to run as a Senate bearer. So we are watching very closely at the activities of the CDC so that we can make sure that you guys are fluent and you stand by what you say and by a very, very strong constitution, and your behavior will really, really show whether we can really trust you guys with leadership or not. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, but I got information for you. The money queen you talk about, even the Supreme Sister that was inducted yesterday and had a big dinner to generate funds for CDC yesterday. The Supreme Sister was inducted yesterday. I was the installing officer. They came under the terms of the Supreme Sister, the money queens, but those people are accelerators of the Congress for Democratic Change. The fact that the nomenclature doesn't change. Those people operating under the law, the bad laws, and the Constitution of CDC. Those people, money queen and Supreme Sister, cannot go and work outside the confines of the Congress for Democratic Change bylaws. I think if Mr. Ure is a seditious, if he come up with a group, it should be an accelerate group within the Congress for Democratic Change that will be governed by the Executive Committee, the bylaw, and the Constitution of the Congress for Democratic Change. Mr. Ure is a citizen of Liberia. He wants to run. If he wants to run a CDC ticket, he has the right to run. We follow democratic process and processes. We engage in democratic work. If you want to run, all you have to do is write the institution that you want to run to be a stand-up bearer, and you're going to go to convention because there's primary. A lot of people did it. So Mr. Ure there's no exception. We don't look at it differently. We look at Mr. Ure as a citizen of the country that has his constitutional right to run, to do what he wants to do. But if he's a member of our party, if he let's assume he was on the executive committee, he cannot operate out of the confines of the party. He has to make sure that every activities that involving the party controls the activities. Because if you're a member and then you engage in other activities like Friends of Ure, as an accelerate, the accelerate should be controlled by the Congress for Democratic Change. So I think we have to be honest, and we have to work in the democratic environment. So Mr. Ure, for me, I don't see a problem with Mr. Ure have ambition to run. A lot of people did it. I mean, if there's a competition, if you can win me in a convention or a primary, and I would love to see that. But again, if he a member like I am, the leader, then I'm a member too. I cannot create anything out of the Congress for Democratic Change. That is wrong. And that's why yesterday, officially, the Supreme Sister that came to promote Judge Weah, we said no, they have to work with the Women League because they also are the accelerate of the Congress for Democratic Change and work with the Executive Committee. So their induction yesterday, now they are legitimate and a bona fide Supreme Sister of the Congress for Democratic Change. But of course, they're going to promote the ideas of Ambassador Weah, but through the party. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ambassador Weah. Ambassador Weah, we're going to take the next one. The next one will come from the caller in the queue, caller 4647. Your name and where you're calling from. These are callers that have questions, Ambassador Weah. Go ahead. Caller, are you with us? 4647. Ms. Brewer. Oh, she's not listening. Ms. Brewer, are you there? Okay, we're going to skip you. Whenever you're ready, you can read out the number. Let's take caller 3389. Your name and where you calling from?
Yes, Emmanuel Jackson from Boston, Massachusetts.
Emmanuel, welcome to the show.
Yes, welcome. Yeah. Oh, Ambassador Weah, God bless you, and I thank you for the things you're doing for our country. And I guess we probably were childhood friends. You probably won't remember, but we used to play soccer. Paul Wisefi. Our team was from Rocktown, Rock Crusher, and we used to go over to Clarktown to play you guys. My childhood friend was Broca Landa. Yeah, so it go way back. And also, I was the student presidential leader for SDP party at Wells, 1979-1980. I took over from one of your friends, Alaji Sidibe. And yeah, my question would be, Mr. Ambassador, we have a lot of bad things that took place in the country over the years, exploitation of our natural resources. So what would be some of your plans in case, God bless you to succeed to become a leader to address those legal issues that are still haunting the country? What would be some of your plans for addressing those illegal activities that took place in the country over the years, and how you will correct them, and going forward we can have a better country?
Well, first of all, we'll solicit experts, and they have to revisit, and where we see it's wrong, and we'll try to correct it. And I think that's the way to go. If you're going to come just to take stuff from people, no, we have to correct it, and the way to correct it is to get an expert, the legal expert, and we correct it when it's not in the interest of the people. We get clauses that can make it be part of the people activities. So we have to look at it. What is not right, we see how we can fix it. I think that's the best way to go.
Yeah. Correct. Go ahead if you have a recommendation, because other people waiting. We got text messages coming in. We want to take one and then go to the line here.
Yes, I always just recommend that the CDC have a very good legal team when we succeed in taking power to address, like I said, some of the issues of illegal activities that took place in our country over the years, and that they will not happen under the CDC leadership, and these things will be put to rest, and the Liberian people will be able to exercise their franchise in a more peaceful manner. I think that would be good if we have a good legal team going forward. So that's my recommendation.
Ambassador,
thank you very much.
We're going to take this test question. It comes from Austin Fada from Minneapolis here, Minnesota. It says that he would like to know, since he became a peace ambassador for the Republic of Liberia, do you have any office? If so, have the government of the Republic of Liberia given you any funds for your office?
Well, since 2 years, no. But I think what is important, what our office or not, I think we have a responsibility to maintain peace and order in our country, and we all know what we have been through for many years. We all know. We all participated. We all try to stop this. But again, what is important for me, since I was appointed as peace ambassador, my primary goal was to bring peace among our people. And even though it's been very slow, there's no office space, but my goal with all the office space, I had a responsibility to maintain peace and order. And, of course, the lot of stuff I did, peace initiatives that I carry on with all the office space, because I felt that it was important in the office. Because, and I'm not telling you that you can operate that office space. Office space, of course, and then legitimate business or organized business, you have an office, you have a staff, and how they call it. But again, I was appointed and I was working through the Minister of Internal Affairs, who's going to provide an office for me, but it delayed. About 3 weeks ago, we went out there to present ourselves. We all did a presentation and our challenges and prospects and forging ahead and all that. I went there and I presented a very good document. Even though I know how the office what I've done so far as a peace ambassador, I outlined that, and based on that, today to visit that part of my office, and then now I'm given the authority to have an office space and put a team together. So we've been having a series of meetings. So in the next couple or weeks, I will be having a legitimate office, and then I'll have a staff for to start our work. But again, our operator of other office space, yes. But again, for our country, I have to do what I have to do. So this is the situation. But now the minister is doing everything for me to have the office, and I'm having meetings with people already. And what I'm negotiating with the Granjida and the Ibadan for friendship launch.
Thank you, Ambassador. We had Korat, any recommendation? Can you hear me, Korat? Okay, Ambassador, we're going to take Korat 5113. Your name and where you calling from?
My name is In El Fangam. Are you hearing me?
Yes, we can hear you, sir. Welcome to Liberia Destiny Debaters.
Thank you, D. Floyd. Thank you very much. I don't want to take up much of your time. I want to, first of all, welcome the Honorable Ambassador George Weah and thank him very much. We do know each other personally, and, of course, I'm proud of him at this point, and I'd like to say, once again, welcome. I have, on behalf of people in the diaspora, we understand, D-Flow, that our brand is tainted at the moment because for too long, for the last 45 years, people have left the diaspora with the hope of going to Liberia and saving our people or helping our people. It turns out to be the opposite. Instead of helping our people, it has been proving, and the records are there to show, the scars are there to be seen, that they've hurt our people. Now, we know the brand is tainted. It is good that you come into the States. It is good that you try to interact with people in the diaspora. But I want to I want to allow you to address two issues here. One, first and foremost, is the issue of dual citizenship, which I believe is paramount to everyone in the diaspora. And I'm one person who support restricted dual citizenship. I repeat, restricted dual citizenship. And the second issue here is the residency clause that says that a person must be in the country.
One caller per question, sir. We can only take one, sir. If you ask two, Ambassador Weah is going to take one. Huge call list. We cannot take two, please.
Okay, so then let's address the issue of dual citizenship, by which I believe, ending on this note, that those people who put in the residency clause did so to protect the country, even though it seems harsh. What is your position, or what is your party position on dual citizenship, or do you go with my side that says restricted dual citizenship? Thank you.
Well, I don't think my party position, the executive committee position, and I think we are all Liberians, and for me, let's take it from my point of view, before we get to the party. The party have now come up with a position on the dual citizenship. But for me, I believe that every Liberian, both in the diaspora and anywhere, can seek a dual citizenship. I don't think anything wrong with that, because imagine a lot of Liberians that went to the States, Europe, and what have you. They got children with other national. They want to do business. They have the right to acquire citizenship anywhere they want to. That doesn't change them from being Liberian. They're all Liberian, but the fact that they got a dual citizenship doesn't change anything. I think they should be given a chance. Having dual citizenship, I don't think it takes anything away from you. Just a way you can participate in both country, because if you're in America for 30 years and they don't expect you to get citizenship, and that's the only way you can work if you have a residence and all that. You have to live. If you got kids, you have to send children to school. But that's a children. So for me, I don't think that dual citizenship is an issue yet. I think they should encourage dual citizenship for all our citizens. So and I hope some people in my party share the view, of course, and there's pros and cons. But I personally, I think they should encourage dual citizenship. I don't think anything wrong with that.
Thank you, Ambassador. We had called out your brief recommendation if you have one.
Well, thank you, Ambassador Weah. But I'm, surprised that your party, on such a very, very vital issue, has not taken a position as a political party with you being its political leader. And I also think that as politicians, we have the right to exert our influence in ourselves and our political ideology and policies upon the party. That is exactly what makes us politicians. And you will know that necessity is the father within successful political activities. So my advice to you is that you use the same thought process that gives you the conviction that dual citizenship is good for our country to prevail upon your fellow partisan to adopt the possibility of accepting not dual citizenship, because I don't want anybody to be citizen of Ivory Coast and at the same time, citizen of Liberia becoming president of my country. It's a conflict of interest and it compromises our security. But I want to see restricted dual citizenship. And so I would like for you to exert your influence in your party and show your leadership by prevailing upon your fellow partisans to move in this direction. I respectfully submit. Thank you, sir.
I think thank you for your position, but I think they have a counter position, and that's where the debate starts from. So it's another debate, and then I think you're going to go on the table, we're going to debate it. But the pros and cons. So the fact that you don't want something doesn't mean that everybody don't want it. There's a lot of other people that affect positively, other people negatively, like you, But I think it's about discussing, the matters further, what is good for Liberians, how many, you want to even go for a referendum on that, it can be proposed. But at the end of the day, some people see it, and it's a good thing for them. Some people don't see it, so I think the debate will be extended. So we're hoping that one day, we can debate that,
Okay, Ambassador Weah, we're going to take the next one. The next one will come from 6859. Caller in the queue for question. 6871.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, D-Flow. Thank you very much. Ambassador, this is Harrison Truck, Chairman CDC USA. Thank you for coming on the show. I'm excited personally. My question to you directly and indirectly comes to me as a component of the decision-making process of this party. 2005, the Liberian people and the world at large realized that there was some fraudulent behavior on the part of the authorities at the time during the election process. There were some irregularities, and Election Commission said, international community said, those irregularities were not potent enough to change the result of the election. My question to you, Eddie, and also to me, for the listening audience, is that even when the of the Election Commission is not up to date to meet the expectation of not only the Congress for Democratic Change, rather the other political parties. Where do we stand with going ahead with the elections 2014 and 2017?
Well, I think your question, you talk about 2005 and Election Commission. There was fraud, but they couldn't override the decision. But our position at that time, stealing is stealing. It doesn't matter how much you steal. And there's fraud because you go to a democratic process. There shouldn't be irregularities. People going to vote. The ballot paper should be in the ballot box. And what we saw at that time, we stated our case. We argued, but again we were criticized to be violent people. And again we respect free speech. Other people say we're violent and they want to bring trouble in the country, but I think this happened is not just one time, 2 times. So what we can do now is to continue to encourage the Election Commission to see as an independent, for them to see as an independent group and make sure that they put in provision that will make all citizens satisfied for the benefit and safety of the state. So that we're hoping that 2014, 2017, those things that happened in the past will not happen. And I hope that we can fix it before we go to other elections. But again, that what you just stated, my point of argument was that the fraud was so massive that you don't even. But again, CDC was looked at as troublemakers and all that. But we are not. We're not troublemakers. Whenever you try to play by the rules and then argue that the rules it was unfair. It was not fair, and other people see you as troublemaker. So our mode of operating now is to dialogue. It means that we have to dialogue. It doesn't mean that we are weak. And just to make sure that we dialogue to fix the things that are spoiled, things that can be fixed. So this is how we operate now. Some people think that, Ambassador Weah is not talking, and they say, we're talking, but we're talking with dialogue, and then we would talk, but we, again, would not just give everybody a chance to talk. But I think as a citizen, and you came from the States to be part of the process. You saw what happened. By the end of the day, what can we do if we look at that? But again, it's politics, like the guy said. Razor blade, by the time they cut your flesh. But again, it will continue to be cutting people's flesh, then we're doing a greater harm to our country. So we need to be involved. Everybody needs to be involved. And the diaspora have a strength. And whenever there's election, people don't even have information. They write on the internet, they put in the things they want to put and against other parties because they feel like, it's not about favoritism, it's about the country. So when we're out there, when we see that there's something wrong with a process, something happened, we should be able to address the issue so people can fix it. But, instead we criticize. So we just hope that this time around, the election will be very independent and see that, that's people a future that they dash and hoping that they put in the right provision so we go to a free and fair elections and leave the place happy. So
thank you, Ambassador Weah. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Liberia Destiny Debaters. My name is Deep Lofomo. I'm a control. Tonight we have the privilege to have with us Ambassador Josh Weah, Liberia Peace Ambassador, the political leader of the Mighty Congress of Democratic Change, Africa's best soccer player of the year. Ambassador Weah, we're going to go to Harrison for his brief recommendation, and then we're going to go to one of the brains behind Liberia Destiny Debaters. Harrison Sosa, your brief recommendation, please.
My recommendation to you, Ambassador, as the political leader for this great party, is to influence other political parties on the ground, not just the CDC, because I feel it is not healthy enough for our nation and people to see any form of confusion during the process of election. We are not ready for that. So I'm kind of asking you to other political parties so that you can have a document, a legitimate document that will meet your expectations as opposition parties, political parties, present it to the government or to the election commission to making sure that the representation of commissioners at the election commission is prudent enough in the eyes of opposition parties, as well as telling the international community what your expectations are before elections. If not, I'm afraid there will be some form of manipulation at the end of the day. We see this happening in most African countries from leaders who are in power and conducting elections at the same time. Thank you.
Thank you, Ambassador Weah. At this time,
thank you very much, Harrison. I think we have always involved other parties in everything that we do. I think if you look at the record of the Congress of Democratic Change, we one of the parties that collaborated with other parties that bring it on board. Even when we proposed the sustainability bill to the House of Representatives, I think you saw that a lot of parties were on board. But again, CDC just a one party, and other political parties refused for that bill to be signed. So it's not about CDC, it's about everybody. Where people think that CDC is the biggest opposition party, and a lot of other parties go against CDC because they think that when things are done, it will be CDC. But we have to be honest with ourselves, you know, and the problem you're talking about, with a lot of groups that come from the diaspora, we respect, you know, what the group that we respect that come to observe the elections. And when they come, they observe, and then they give their findings, and when you see that what is happening, you know, that they also do a part of the process. So all of the groups that come in to observe should make sure that they observe well, you know, where you have more than 3,000 or some more polling places where the observers are there, 300, and then they ought to determine all of those areas, and I mean, it's a harm to the democratic process. So I hope that some of the things we need to change is that when the observers come in, we should pair them to the number should be paired. If there are 3,500 polling centers, that should be or at least 3,000 and something observers, so they can be on it, you know. But again, we just hope that all will be well.
Thank you, Ambassador Weah. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome one of the brains behind Liberia Destiny Debaters, and that number is 0167. Samuel Ben, welcome to your own program.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Thank you, Mr. Moderator. I'm sorry, Mr. Weah, my voice is kind of a little bit, you know, in a cold city, quoting from Minnesota, Brooklyn Park, one of your favorites, city. Mr. Weah, we know immensely how your contribution in the arena of sport, one-time African best, the world best, European best. We must recognize that and your immense contribution to Liberia. Thank you so much for what you have done, and we appreciate that strongly. But when we enter the political arena, we have to look at Liberia as a whole. As my moderator has said, at this time, we look at the political process, where we going and where we're going to move Liberia forward. Although after the Civil War, there was a TRC report, and now you're serving as a peace ambassador. So we're looking, what if your party having to take control tomorrow? What will you do? Will you guys look at the TRC report? We recycle to bring it back to life. Number two, on the political arena, I always ask the question. Our country is one of the lowest, the highest unemployment rate at this time. What will your party do? And not to make it to run away faster, your credit will say, I know you talk about convention, but you always declare yourself maybe the front runner of your party. Is that something that you kind of arrest, or is something that you go to convention and you earn it through the political process? So we want transparency. Thank you.
Go ahead, Ambassador Weah. We got callers from Europe. We got callers from Liberia on the queue. So please dial *61 if you want to talk to Ambassador Weah. That's the one way we can take your call. Go ahead, Ambassador Weah. Ambassador Weah has to reload. Let me see. Did he change his number? Ambassador Weah, are you staying with us? Ambassador Weah? Ambassador Weah, are you there? Hello? I think we just lost Hello, Ambassador Weah. Are you there, Ambassador Weah? We having a problem hearing you, sir. Yes, he's there. He just changed his number. But Ambassador Weah, can you hear me? I can't hear you, sir. Ambassador Weah? Ambassador Weah, can you hear me, sir? Ambassador Weah just
I don't know what happened there.
No, it's from his line. I think he's had to reload his phone. But there are callers from Liberia. I thought he has changed his number. So let's just wait for Ambassador Weah. Let me see. I think he just came back on.
I mean, the last time I called the other guy again, he lost. I don't know when I asked question.
So probably
that's not the. I don't think that's the deal here. They may be on the program from 1 hour, so he has to reload his phone, man. That's just the way it works. So what?
No, I just came here like maybe I want the unfortunate one sometime, maybe.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have to wait the ambassador. We have to reload his phone. He's surely going to come back, as he said. He's going to spend the time with us tonight. So do not leave us. Just stay right where you are.
Iflo, are you there? Iflo, are you there?
Don't leave him, but we are trying to reload the phone to get reload his number to spend additional 1 hour with us. Already. Thank you, Ambassador. Ambassador, did you get my co-host question? I just wanted him to welcome you, but he had to ask a question. So, did you get his question, Ambassador? So, you want him to?
No,
okay, Ben.
Okay. Yeah, you know why? I was giving little speeches in regards to recognize your immense contribution to our country.
Yes, but I think you should just welcome Ambassador Weah. We got huge people on the line. Let them take care of Ambassador.
Yeah,
so Ambassador Weah question.
You welcome to our program, and also from our Blawo, we welcome you again. We know to see you to visit. We're looking forward. So, however, welcome to the program. As my moderator has said, being the co-host, we would like other people to ask questions right now. So, Mr. Moderator, you can go forward with that.
Thank you. We're going to take the next one, ladies and gentlemen. This is Liberia Destiny Debaters. That's all. It is a privilege to have the Liberia Peace Ambassador, George Weah, on the line with us tonight. Ambassador Weah, let's go to, this is going to be a tough thing. I got a lot of people here. 5529, your name and where you got it from?
Thank you. My name is Robert Gagwa Jr. Excuse me, and I'm calling from Atlanta, Georgia.
Welcome to the show. Ambassador Weah is listening.
Thank you for having me. Ambassador George Weah, thanks for coming on the show. I'm not going to be too long because I know that there are lots of us on the program wanting to ask you a question. I just called in, and I think I might be lucky to have been putting on the phone. But it's been 2 occasions where we've called in and we were on the phone for hours and you did not show up. So I'm glad that you actually on this time around. Now, I have 2 questions for you. The first question is in regards to...
You got 1 question, sir. 1 question per caller, please.
Okay. Well, I'll ask this 1 question then. Who is Ambassador George Weah? And the reason why I asked that question is because we know George Weah to be the world most best player, soccer player. We know you to be the former world best. We know George Weah. We know what George Weah can do on a soccer pitch. But what most of us, and we love you for that. But what most of us have been wanting to hear is, who is George Weah, the soccer player? And I will keep that question. And while you answer that question, just let me know as the standard bearer of CDC, the politician George Weah, what does CDC stand on education specifically? Thank you, sir.
George Weah, you can just, Honorable, just take 1 question, please. We can have a huge list, going to 1,000, and then 2. We cannot take 2 questions, 1 per caller, sir. You choose which one to answer.
No, I'll just go ahead and just answer this question. CDC stand on education. We believe that education is important to every citizen. That's why we try to maximize our actual potential. Like me, I went back to school. It tells you that that's my long-term goal, because without education, civilization would not exist. So we encourage education, and I think that one of the areas we want to support, because a lot of our young people, either they drop out or they don't have the means to be educated. So we want to do our best to make sure that, no child left behind. So there's a No Child Left Behind educational platform that we're bringing on board. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Cora, your recommendation?
Well, my recommendation would be to have George Weah engage the Liberians with regards to national issues. There are lots of national issues that we hear from Liberia in the diaspora day in and day out, but we see George Weah, the opposition leader, muted on these issues, and I think it helps you more to engage us, to let us know your stand on these issues, and I think it makes us even more relaxed in terms of, can George Weah actually be the leader Liberia needs right now in the 21st century? So I recommend, instead of just being quiet or engaging these issues from behind the scenes, to actually address these issues hand on. Want you to let us know your stand on nepotism, on corruption, on all these issues that the Liberia faces right now, and so that we know exactly where you stand. That's my recommendation.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. But again, we have been discussing issues, but again, my party discussed the issue, and this is not about George Weah alone. It's about we have a team that we get together, and then we put a document together and criticize what needs to be criticized. So we've been working. But again, I just want to tell you, the debate on issues in the country sometimes is personal, and you don't want to, just go on radio show, talk show where people disrespecting even the leader of the country. If we have an issue, we should discuss it, not to insult people. So some of the things, I don't want to give them relevant. I think the best way to work is to work through the party and criticize when is needed to be criticized, and then our opinion and always being put forward. They call for democratic change. So sometimes we don't need to go to a radio show to be loud and other people know that, because to be loud is not. It doesn't make you the person that talk about the issues. No, we have to be more concrete in what we want to do. So sometimes people think that we're not talking. No. And when I said I work behind the scene, I got issues that have nothing to do with debate on the radio. I can go to the person and dialogue. So this is how we operate. And the call for democratic change, we all know we have an executive committee, that put in a limitation for people to discuss issues. And we don't want to make mistakes and then they hold the party responsible for that. So some of the things we let the party do it, and collectively we do it together. But I take your recommendation.
Thank you. Ambassador Weah, the next caller in the queue has next caller is 4647. Where you calling from?
Slow.
Yes, Isaac.
Yeah, there are a couple of people who said they have been on for 2-3 hours, and somehow the person from Atlanta kind of leapfrogged them. But I told them to be patient, and hopefully they call selection. The speaker selection will be based on timing. Because some people will know really be on 4 o'clock. So thank you.
Yes. I apologize for that, but this is Ambassador Weah, so you should expect that we are approaching 1,000 callers. So you just have to bear with us. When we come to you, we'll come to you. Let's go to caller 4647. Your name and where you calling from?
Yeah.
Caller.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Hello.
Yes.
Hi, this is Ms. Brewer from Florida.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good evening, sir. Good evening, Ambassador Weah. My question is, there is about, I would say, approximately 75% of Liberia's population is 35 and under. And those 35 and under are strong supporters of CDC. I really would like to know what has been your hindrance as far as opening a sports academy that will strongly benefit the youth of Liberia. Thank you.
Yeah. What my hindrance of sports academy, I think, is the government. Government has the responsibility to build facility to promote youth. And sports academy is not a political party that build them. We advocate for the things to be built. is what we encourage government to put in facility. If government believes in sports, then it should build a sports academy. It's what, as a political leader, I've been working with the Liberia FA to encourage FIFA to build sports facility. I think you heard Musa Belete. I think you heard Musa Belete the other day that there's a sports academy will be soon be built in Liberia. So we've been working with the FA, but I think government have to do more. So so we encouraging that, and I'm participating.
Thank you, Ms. Brewer. Do you have recommendations for the honorable man?
Well, my question was actually not as a political leader or as a leader of CDC, but as an individual, being the world best, being the world everything. My thinking was, or my recommendation would be to put forward a proposal to the international community, to your friends. You have a lot of influence in the international community, as far as letting them know, look, this is what's happening in my country, this is what's going on. Can you assist me instead of waiting for government? Because as far as we know, government is not willing to do anything for the youth of Liberia. So just as an individual, not as a political person, this will your influence, the international community.
Yeah, I just stated that I've been working with the FA to FIFA. And I'm a FIFA committee member, so I've been encouraging FIFA to build sports facility in Liberia, and this academy will soon be built. So I understand your question, and I just said it. So if you listen to me, you know that it's on the way. So I've been working, not a political leader, as former sports ambassador and former professional player. I think that the young people here who are adamant can learn something. Those who want to make sure their passion and be fulfilled. So we've been working with the FA. That's what I stated.
Thank you, Ambassador Weah. Our next caller question is caller 57. That's 7508. Your name and where you calling from, please?
Oh, my name is James Halawanga. I'm calling from St. Louis, Missouri.
Is the one that I know?
yeah, Ambassador. Ambassador,
how are you, man?
Not bad, man. Ambassador, I just want to thank you for the kind of work that you've been doing for our country. Mr. Moderator, I just want to make some statement and some recommendation to the ambassador. One of the issues that when God bless you, when you take over that country, you have to look at is the security situation. The security situation, what do I mean? If you look right now, you'll see that Boko Haram, which is a terrorist group that have been sanctioned by the United States, Great Britain, and other Western countries, is operating in Nigeria. Let me digress a bit. If you look at when the war started in Liberia in 2000, in 1989, the people said the war was just between Liberia business alone. It was just crime and you. When you go low, it spread all over. Then to the sub-region. Boko Haram business, a terrorist group, is not a Nigeria business. It's a sub-regional issues. So what you have to look at is you got to look at the security personally, and you got to look at our bowlers, our affiliates, our people that will have our boundary with. Another issue I want for you to look at, Ambassador, is the road network. If you have the road network in Liberia, Liberia is still undeveloped, but the road network is very poor. You got to look at that. You got to look at the health issue. When people get sick, officials get sick, what they do, they go to Ghana, they go to the United States or whatsoever. But when the poor man gets sick, he remains to JFK and die because nobody says you got to look at that. You got to look at education. You have to look at the street in Monrovia. Anybody who get any kind of house over there must be demarcation. There must be rules and regulations that are by the propelled by the city hall. Because it is very important because people just get rid of the house. There is no street. Another issue you have local is you have to have ministry. You got to build ministry for your government because People build houses in Monrovia. They live in the diaspora. Then they collect the fees. It has become a what? It has become the dancing tune for Liberia. So, Ambassador, I wish you well, and I really want for you to look at all these problems that we are facing. Let me, before I end my statement, another issue we got to look at, because I've been in Liberia for long, is marginalization. People just marginalize people because people want to look about it. Our calling names, lie, deceit. The lie and deceit is too much. So, I've been with the security, especially the mansion, people come and lie. They say, why destroy the government? Because most of them don't have a good intention for that country. But because most of the people that came to power at the time in 1980, they couldn't put this and that, they were not well educated, they were not well schooled, they did not advise the guy. As a result, they started killing themselves. So you got to look at your lies and things. Thank you, Ambassador. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That was just a
thank you,
Alewanga. Thank you, Alewanga, and I hope to see you. I think that's a good idea. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ambassador. Where are we going to take caller 1018? Your name and where you calling from?
Good afternoon, D-Flow. This is Musa Willie calling from Coastal, Pennsylvania.
Good afternoon, my brother.
Ambassador, thank you for coming on the show because I was one of those guys that bet $200. I told people that you're coming, and at least I'm going to get my extra $200 tonight. I hope I can share some with you. But let's go to the debate. I want to commend you first for joining the dual citizen debate. From tonight, you are on record that you support dual citizenship. That cannot change anything. So let's move to my next question, or my main question. When you was giving justification for dual citizenship, you touched an area that I'm going to talk about when it comes to the residency clause. You mentioned about the conditions how people left Liberia due to war, and they went to Europe and America. They had children, and some people stay away for a longer time because of fear of persecution. Last election, there was this ticket issued about the 10-year residency clause. Of course, the issue went to the Supreme Court, and some interpretation was given. But at the end of the day, we had to go back on the table to relax the clause so that we could have a good election or peaceful election. We always complaining about post-election violence, post-election disagreements. Right now, we should be looking for pre-election engagement so that we can be very proactive when we get to that point. So my question is, what's your position on the residency clause? And I'm asking this question because I will use Samuel Dawson as an example. Prince Johnson is the third powerful political figure in Liberia. Prince Johnson is the third powerful rebel leader, ex-rebel leader in Liberia. 2011, John Doe could not go to Liberia. And if John Doe was going to go to Liberia to campaign against Prince Johnson, you all know how powerful Prince Johnson was. He can do anything to John Doe. So at this point, if John Doe decides to go back to Liberia after 10 years, will we stay wholly responsible for violating the 10-year Constitution clause? So I just want to know your position.
First of all, I don't know what John Doe will be violating. You talk about John Doe, who follow a president in this country, Samuel Doe. He have a resident in Liberia. They finally won for 10 years. Doesn't mean that he doesn't have a resident yet. So I don't think he should be alienated or anything. I think that the residency clause, if we can debate that, we can debate to the letters. But again, those who are that left Liberia, most of them have homes there. So they're still resident of Liberia. So, but again, you know that we are not part of those documents. Or we can speak as political party. But again, we have the legislature, we have the Senate that signed those documents. But and a lot of people, the document said, like me, when I came to create CDC, when we were funding CDC, I mean, they accused me of being a European citizen. You know what I'm saying? I have to take my European passport back before I even join the political race. And I give my passport back, you know. But again, I was national team captain here. I was technical director. I was bearing Liberian passport. You know what I'm saying? So it affected me. I have to give my passport back to the European Union. But again, I argue that. So you're telling me that I'm a European citizen now because I came into politics. So you're telling me that FIFA and all of those international organizations, when Liberia was winning here and there, the points they should take it from Liberia because of foreigner play for Liberia. That's what you're telling me. And also, at the end of the day, I don't think, but again, some people, there's politics, some people appease politics because it's always done that way. But I think that's why we should fight as citizens to make sure that everybody have the possibility and the capability and the chance to go and make sure that the rules and regulations are in place. So this is what we're fighting for. So I hope we all will join to encourage those who are making those laws and to do it in a way that it can be in the interest of the people.
Thank you. Scott, go ahead with your brief recommendation, sir.
Yeah, my recommendation to Weah is not from the issue I just spoke on. I would still get back to Weah and the rest of it. Political figure to know their position on this clearly. I don't want sugarcoating. Now, my recommendation to Weah is, I heard you talking about you don't have an office, and another person called you. You told them that it is not your responsibility to open a sports academy. The reason why people look up to you because of the capacity, the network, the vision, the contacts that you have. When the caller asked you about why you didn't open sports academy, are you thinking in that direction? They were looking at your capacity, looking at your network. That's one. The next thing is, if you are appointed as a peace ambassador, you have the opportunity to write project proposals. You have the opportunity to expand. You have speaking engagement. So coming on public radio to tell that you don't have an office, I would suggest next time when you're coming back, those are things when you're telling us, Republic of Liberia peace ambassador, you don't need government money to have an office. You can run your own project proposal. There are organizations. You got the War Religion for Peace. They got millions of dollars sitting there. If you want me to recommend people to you that can walk to your office tomorrow and work with you and write a proposal for you to get money for the War Religions of Peace, you can do that. Those are people that gave up millions of dollars during post-war period through the Interreligious Council of Liberia. They're right in New York, and they're still willing to help Liberia. Thank you.
Thank you.
Before you go, sir, again, I want to repeat myself, and I hate to be redundant. But again, I was appointed by the government, and I think the government have a responsibility to find an office for me to operate. If you think that because I have the power, because I can negotiate for office, and I work with the government, and I think every government entity has an office, so that goes to me. So I hope you don't take it personal, But again, this is what it is, I mean, I said it, and I don't have an office to operate, but I did what I could do for peace. So I work in the office of CDC, and I work in my house. When I have meetings, I bring people to my home, and then I go to CDC party headquarters because I have a responsibility to maintain peace and order. But the fact that I made a budget for government to give me office and it was slow, I don't think anything wrong with that. I think that government responsibility to give me an office as peace ambassador.
Thank you, Ambassador Weah. We're going to take the next caller. The next caller in the queue is 0455. Your name and where you call it from.
Hi, my name is Eileen Castell. I'm calling from New Jersey.
Welcome to the show.
Yes, thank you. My question is, of recent there have been some major concern with Liberia healthcare policy. My question to Ambassador Weah is that what plan or strategy his party have in terms of addressing Liberia's healthcare situation?
Hello, the strategy. But I think I always encourage the House of Representatives and those who are responsible to promote healthcare. that even the budget for health, I see that is very small. But it's important for our people. So now I'm always advocating, making sure that they give them a good budget so they can have all the provision for people to be helped. So that the strategy is to keep talking to the other representatives to help putting more money into healthcare and for our people to be helped. I think there's a strategy. And also to bring in expertise doctors from the diaspora, and then encourage them, to help our people. I think there's a strategy, to interact with other people far from us that have the expertise to help even our nurses, the doctors here, so they can continue to grow, to gain different experience in the area of medicine, they need to interact with other people, send them for seminars and send them to the diaspora to learn and come back. That would need a huge budget, but again, there's nothing is used for our people's health. I think we should put anything for the healthcare to be successful.
Thank you, Cora. Go ahead if you have a recommendation. We want to also take this time to welcome the CDC, Atos Zakamat. He's also with us. We'll open his line so he can have a word to say to his political leader. Go ahead to the caller here and give us your recommendation if you have one.
Well, when I asked that question, I asked it on a party line, not on a government line. And being that CDC has been in power, it's one of the oldest parties because they have run 2 executive elections. I thought by now they will have a plan or a strategy in place to address our health care problem in Liberia because it is a major concern. And anybody who wants to take over the government have to be able to address that situation. So I would recommend that CDC get together and try to find means of putting a policy together that only if they're in power or if whosoever they're able to submit their own input on healthcare policy. So it is a major concern. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ambassador. Go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you very much. This is Atos Akuma.
Go ahead. Welcome to the show. Ambassador Weah is listening.
Yeah, I just want to welcome our political leader. I think this is a very good opportunity for Liberians across the diaspora to listen in to the political leader and also to get to know what CDC vision would be like. But I think I just wanted to answer the lady that spoke earlier regarding the healthcare system. Just about a week and a half ago, CDC had a policy conference, and all of those details will be worked out. I will tell you that some of the configuration and nuances will all be worked out and will be presented to the Liberian people in due course. So I can guarantee you that all of those things are major concern for the party, and I believe the political leader would highlight on those things. Thank you very much, and welcome, Mr. Ambassador Weah, and we look forward to hearing from you.
Thank you. Ambassador Weah, let's go to a caller here. So please do not dial any more *67. We have a lot of people in the queue. We want to make sure we absorb what we have here. Let's go to caller 0136. 0136. Are you listening? Your last number is 0136.
Yes. I've been listening since 4:05 today, sir. I've been listening since 4:05. Well, it's typical for Liberians, so I'm used to that. It's typical for Liberians. But anyway, this is Randy Darpo, and I think Zakaman, I just left the line. He and I was in Baltimore, and I recall we went to the library to get some presentation for him, and I think he will know exactly who is talking here. Well, Mr. Ambassador, this is Randy. We met on City Line Avenue, I think, a year and a half ago, and I promised that I will do my best to help with the regulatory aspect of the party in terms of writing some policy in the oil sector. I was a little bit disappointed because I was in D.C., especially Baltimore, when I made my first presentation, and you, I don't know, any of the representatives from Liberia were not present, and the message I got personally was there is a disconnect between the diaspora CDC. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but that's my observation. There is a disconnect between the diaspora sedition and the local sedition that is in Liberia. What I would like to see here is, because I suggested during that time that we need to have an annual or maybe every other year where folks from the diaspora can go to Liberia or and do the same thing like the presentation and interact with our people back home. Because the future we look at now lies in your hands. I grew up on 12th Street. I didn't know nobody else but the soccer guys that I hang out with, including you. And we have come over here, have got a lot of education. I'm not waiting to work in the government, to be honest with you, Mr. Ambassador, because what I'm doing here, I'm very, very satisfied, and I think Isaac Vatoba can attest to that. What I want you to do when you get the necessary power is to give us, the professional, the chance just to come and consult and do what is right for the country. It will hurt me a lot if I'm helping folks in the country that didn't see me grow up, and I don't be able to help people back home because I don't have the contact as the Liberian people look at it that way. So my question to you here is, what do you have in mind to make sure that, like you said, you got some good people in the diaspora, that you can provide a pathway for them to come and help in your government? Because I'm one of the good guys, I must admit. I am one of the good guys. I'm not telling myself, but I'm one of the good guys because the company I work for is in Europe and in the United States, and they have given me a better position. That tells me that I'm a good guy. So I want you to tell us what path are you going to create that will bring the best young talent to support you. Because I'm on your side, to be honest with you.
I mean, it's simple. We're gonna get scouts, to come out there and look for young and talented Liberian, very brilliant people, and to be evaluated. And we brought on board. But again, you said something in your hand. Is it the future of Liberia is not in my hand? The future of Liberia should be in our hand. It's a collective effort. We're going to build a team, to build Liberia. It's not just George Weah. I'm going to be the president. You're going to put me, by God's grace, to be the president of Liberia. That doesn't mean I'm going to do all the work. I mean, it's just a decision-making process where I will sit with you and then let you know our priorities, how we need to be done, how to help our people, and your ideas to put together to help our people. That is not left with me. The source of Liberia is left with all of us. And that's what we should put in our mind. And we should see that as a national endeavors, not just individual endeavors. So, but I take your recommendation. I know you're a good guy, and I hope to see you again. I know exactly who we're talking, because I met with you when we had a meeting. But again, since you're a good guy, I take that, and I hold you to your word,
Tell him you need to join CDC USA. You need to join CDC USA. You keep wasting time.
We're gonna go to.
Well, I'm doing everything.
For me, CDC USA, CDC Liberia. One is a well-wisher, is a sympathizer. He have the strength. He doesn't have to join CDC. For me, what I believe in is that a Liberian that even supports CDC, you don't have to join. I mean, you're part of the process. You can help. When you have good intentions. So,
thank you, Ambassador. Let's go to quarter 29119. Your name and where you call it from. I'm looking at the time, Ambassador. How with us here? 2919. Are you with us? James Lux is as James. What's his name again? Cora, we're gonna skip you. We have a lot of people here. We cannot hold the line that long. James. Okay, it looks like he's not listening. We're going to skip him. Let me give him one more opportunity.
Moderator?
James Moderator? Yes, sir. Yes, Ambassador?
Moderator?
Yes, sir.
I think we will soon be off, the technical problem. But again, if it happens, I want to apologize. If we can reschedule again, I'll be glad to come back on.
Yeah, we are looking at your time. We are looking at your time, sir. We are looking at your time. We are looking at the minutes on the phone, sir.
Yeah. So I'm still on, but just in case we go off.
Yes.
Just we'll go off happens, and I apologize.
If that happens, we'll surely schedule. James, are you with us? 2919. Are you with us? Okay, we're gonna skip your line. Let's go down the list here. Just bear with me, Ambassador. I'm trying to go through the list here. A lot of people in the queue, so I don't know which one. Let's go to caller 6494. 6494, can you hear me? Can anybody hear me? It's a problem for my phone. Okay. Sorry, Ambassador, we have the problem for my phone.
Yeah. We can hear you, D-Flow.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes. What is quarter 46696494? Are you with us?
That's the Limabui Foundation.
Okay, so I'm gonna skip him. What's his name? That's my brother from Nima County, Gonify Dolo. Dolo, are you with us? Okay, that's it for you. Let's go to quarter 0665. Your name and where you calling from?
Hi, I'm Amos Fuadikari, calling from Pennsylvania.
Well, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, sir. It was a pleasure. Okay.
Good.
First of all, I would like to express my thanks and appreciation for Ambassador Weah for attending the program or the show. And my concern or question is that initially from his opening statement, he emphasized on the importance of transparency that has to do with the electoral process in Liberia. From recent reports, he has been victimized or defeated by the ruling party twice, and now every country which is they want to have a free and transparent elections, like he himself, I guess that's his dream and aspiration. Now, my question here is that, is it because he was a victim of the past result, and this is the reason why he come up to say, oh yes, he stressed the importance of transparency in the Liberian election? And if so, what are some of the identifying factors that resulted to the election not going in his favor?
Go ahead, Ambassador Weah. Yes, Ambassador, go ahead, sir.
Well, thank you very much. But I think the issue of transparency in any process, that's global. You know, it's not because I was affected in 2004. And before I become politician, I always spoke about people honesty. So it's not about politics. It's about when you come over a process where people go there to see fair play. And there's no fair play, we'll talk about it. So it's not about politics. It's not because I thought that it affected me in 2004. But just in case, you know, we talk about after 15 years of civil crisis and we came to elections, I think the best thing was to give account, you know, to talk about good deeds. And that's where it started from, because we came back home, it was the first democratic process, and we felt that it should be more transparent, and then the democratic process should prevail. I think that's where I came from, and that's what I'm saying, you know, just in case. But again, what are we doing to not go back to those kind of behavior? That was advocated for the Election Commission, Flumonian, to resign, you know, to put incredible people. So that those people that are there, we hope and we pray that they will work well in the interest of the Liberian people. So I think that mechanism will put in place, and we will seek in a political participation where every political party will have interest in the Election Commission, and then we have trust. So that this is the way we will try to address those issues and create awareness for each and every Liberian to make sure that the Election Commission is credible. You know, you're going to do everything to figure out to a free and fair elections. So we will discuss it, you know, with the night, you know, and those who are responsible. And there's a problem today that it makes want us to even talk because we don't have the funds to conduct elections. And these are some of the things. So we're going to advocate for them. We're going to let them know that it's important for election to be here, and they should be helped. But I think what I meant.
Thank you, Correct. Your brief recommendation, if you have one.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I think my recommendation is that for every political party, there should be some sort of workshop to bring together this political party that will be able to work along with the Election Commission when it comes to training. And then the next thing is that there should be some let's say, amendment in the voter registration process, because I'm a living witness. 2005, when I was in Liberia, there were people who registered at a specific location because they failed to follow these procedures. They went into another constituency and they allowed them to vote. So some of these things could be resolved through these kind of actions. And the next thing is that these political parties should also sacrifice to send these representatives to have some sort of training through a global means so that they can come out and represent their political party. Because when this is done, for every result that come out, you as a representative, you definitely sign that agreement indeed that, oh yes, this election is free and fair. So most often when people come out and say that, oh, the election is not transparent, then it bows down to these factors. Thanks.
Thank you, Ambassador Weah. Let's take the next one here. We look here at your time here. We'll make sure that you give us a closing statement before you leave. We are watching your clock. 1373. Your name and where you calling from?
Yeah, D-Flow, thank you for taking my call. This is Seyon Yauna from Brooklyn Park, Minnesota.
Welcome again, Seyon.
Thank you, sir. Let me join previous callers to say congratulations to you, Mr. Ambassador, and also thank you so much for your services and contributions to our country. For us who admire you, thank you. I have to say thank you for all of the things you did for our country, whether on international sports level or local level when you interact with local people. But yeah, it's a question I have for you before I get my recommendation. Some critics will argue Ambassador Weah cannot be trusted or Ambassador Weah is not focused. Why? They say Ambassador Weah ran for president in 2005. He did not win. He ran as a vice presidential candidate in 2011. He did not win. Now we're hearing Ambassador Weah will be running as a senatorial candidate from us around the country. What would you say to your critics? Should they see you as the transformational leader, or should they see you as someone who is not focused?
Well, again, people have their own opinion. I think we should accept that. I'm in a political party, the Call for Democratic Change. And I think the party have our own strategy. And the fact that I ran in 2005 as a presidential candidate does not limit me to go as vice president if the party have that strategy. And it doesn't even limit me to run as a senator. I mean, what we're trying to do is to make sure that I put in the governance process and the leadership process, and if the party support me, so my critics have nothing on me. I think the fact that I want to maximize my true potential, to serve. I'm not doing it for anybody. I'm doing it for the people that I represent. If my party, the Liberian people, want me to be senator in 2014, and then I'll serve them as senator. There will be people that will criticize. But again, this is life. We have to continue to move on. You can't tell me because actually I'm not the first person that's done it in the world. If you do research, you'll see so many good people. Came that way. Some came from the front door, some came from the back door. Some ran as a representative, and then they become president. Some ran as a president. They never won, but they went as a representative. So, I mean, it's government process, it's a party strategy. So I don't see it as a problem. But again, I'm focused. And everybody thinks I'm not focused. I've been the leader for CDC for almost 9 years. And the fact that in our political history, as a young man, created and founded the CDC. Today, CDC is one of the major opposition parties who we have not seen in our political history. And I think people should applaud me instead of trying to always criticize. I'm focused. If I'm not focused, I'm never going to be CDC. And if I'm not focused, I'm never going to go back to school. I'm never going to obtain my degree. If I'm not focused, I'm never going to be the peace ambassador that I am today, or to be in our community to make sure that we maintain peace and order in the country. So tell you I'm focused. So that our opinions, I don't go against that. We learn from that. So,
Ambassador, I think you have answered the question. I think we have to read indeed because he was answering. But let me give my recommendation. Has the potential to be a serious political party. I underscore a serious political party. And for CDC to truly attain such a status, then it must expand its appeal not only to the quote-unquote grassroots people or grassrooters who are essential part of the CDC. However, you also have the self-established elites today in Liberia by virtues of the status of education. One of my good friends will say they are all members of the status quo because they have acquired education. So if CDC should become a serious political entity, then the CDC must look into that direction. Expand your appeal base not only to the grassroots, but to the so-called intelligentsia, the so-called self-established elites. But other than that, Mr. Ambassador, let me say again, God bless you. Keep up the good work. Just afraid that the government is not using you as a scapegoat for so-called peace, because through the people who know you know that you are genuine about peace. The government cannot be trusted. So I hope the government is not just using you, and be very careful. Thank you so much for service. God bless you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. But to just take the other recommendation, I mean, since it's a grassroots party, it doesn't mean that we don't have people that are out of the grassroots. But I'll take your recommendation. And we're all working together here. It's a grassroots party, but we have a lot of people from the other end, and it's a whole team, a conglomeration of people from different parts of our world in Liberia. So that, thank you.
Thank you, Ambassador Weah. Ambassador Weah, let's welcome to quarter 8972. Your name and where you're calling from. Please make it brief because Ambassador has less than 13 minutes with us.
Okay, thank you very much. This is Choppy Charlie, known as Choppy Charlie. Thank you very much, Ambassador Weah, and I think it's very refreshing to have you on these kinds of conversations, especially that a lot of people have been asking. I'm I feel a little vindicated that you're able to articulate the issues the way you've done, considering that a lot of people have criticized some of us for defending what we've been doing. I just wanted to just add up not so much of a question, but just to emphasize some of the points that you've made about our party, the Congress of Democratic Change. Yes, particularly when you make the point that the CDC has been reaching out. I remember we had a meeting with Dr. Amos Sawyer of the Governance Commission and many other political parties. So people need to listen to what the CDC has been doing and not really ignore these reality on the ground. And also the point that somebody just made, if you look at election data, you have over 300,000 people based on that record that voted for the CDC. People are assuming that out of the 300,000 plus, we don't have doctors, engineers, lawyers, and all this stuff. People need to read what the CDC writes. You go on our website, you see that we have a plan. We were the only political party in the history of the country that ran for elections and offer a platform. No other political party has ever done that. But I would just also want to make this point to you, Ambassador Weah, and that for you to continue to emphasize this point to our partisans. There is a kind of feeling that this is CDC time, CDC to govern the country. I don't believe that any political party has a time to govern any country. The country does not belong to sedition alone. We have all Liberians. So you being the leader of the party at this point, I think your voice will add strength to motivate our partisans, to assure them that they should not be complacent, that it is our time, but rather citizens should work very hard as ever to reach out and do those things that are necessary to give the party the credibility that it needs to govern the country. Again, I want to thank you very much. Look forward to continue working alone so that our party can become successful. Thank you.
Thank you. Ambassador Weah,
thank you, Choppy.
Let's take quarter 6727. Probably after this we're gonna take two more. Quarter 6727.
Yeah, my name is Aaron Kennedy. I'm calling from Worcester, Massachusetts. Mr. Expecting President, we are very happy that you have come to answer our questions today. I was even skeptical that you're coming because this is the second or third time. But my main question here is, it has almost been 9 years since this government been in power. You guys have been 9 years as a party. And the poor people are already suffering. No water, no road, no real light, and job opportunity for the people in this country. And some of the things that we hear in the news from some of your representatives is, you chop, I chop. Now, what is your advice to your senators and representatives who should be seeking the interest of the poor people?
Well, I wish my dear brother you were in Liberia and interact with me and my representatives, those who are represented in the both houses, Senate and the House of Representatives. I was told that they should work in the interest of the people. But again, we know nobody heart. We just evaluate people and give them chance and opportunity to work. So those who are that work not in the interest of the people, of course. It's all about leadership, and we advocate for the people to make their decisions. But I always told them they must work in the interest of the people, and we are hard on our representatives and our senators to do well for our people, because the confidence of the people cannot be broken. So this is it.
Go ahead, Scott.
Yeah, my recommendation to you now is I want you to make sure, Mr. Expecting President, that you guys really do something about this electoral process, because it happened the first time, it happened the second time, and there's a third time. The third time happened then, the first fool is the second, but the third one now is something else. So let all of us pray and make sure that the electoral process be fair, so we can have a sweet Liberia. Because the election is now fair and free, 2017, people will not be happy. And that's not the good news. That's my recommendation.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Let's go to quarter 6494. Your name and where you calling from?
Hello, Diflo.
How are you?
Great. Thank you very much.
Liberia, Ambassador been with us for almost 2 hours now, so let's try to give him time to go to bed. So what do you have for him?
My name is Diego Dolo from San Nicolas City, Nima County, to district 7, Pangalo Avenue. Mr. Ambassador, thank you very much, and let God bless you. We were unfortunate. It's because of you today we've seen a light, because you pursue your education with all the criticism, And I really applaud you for that. And thank you for Trocom. When Trocom mother died in Abidjan, you assisted a lot. You did well for Trocom robbers today. And I don't know you, but they told a lot of good things about you. But my question to you here is, I will just condense it like the moderator said. My question to you here, Mr. Ambassador, how do you look at the future of Liberia? When I say the future of Liberia, you serve as an ambassador. A year ago, President Lassana Ouattara of Ivory Coast and President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf went on an international peace mission. I expected the ambassador to have been there
and you were absent. And my last question to you here is, I'm going to one of your strong men from the political party, that Mr. Uri. He has come up and say, this is the time for the indigenous to take leadership. And I'm an indigenous. What do you say about that, Mr. Ambassador? Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. But again, I was not at the border when President Ouattara and Her Excellency Ellen Johnson Sirleaf went there. You know, I called the president and I was not feeling well, and I let her know that I would not go with them, and she understood that. But I've been working in the interest of peace. Even the very articles you talk about, if you are aware, you know that we went there 2 or 3 times to promote peace in Ivory Coast. I mean, the entire African region have been there making peace. So that's the reason you didn't see me to the function that day, the peace function. But again, you said that Bernard uses it's time for the indigenous to take power. Is it, let us leave this indigenous and Congo and this and that. I think what is important for good people to serve and those who understand the plight of our people. You know, it's not about country or Congo. This should be about Liberian people. So the people that are responsible, I don't like want to make those statements like our infinite death the other day. Somebody said Congo is attitude and this and this. No, we don't need that. They didn't separate us, and today it brought division among us. I think what is important for us, for all of us to get back on board to see how we can fix what is broken, both the natives and wider view. But I think all Liberians need to get together. Let us forget about this nomenclature. There's no Congo, there's no native. We are all Liberians, and we'll work to be Liberians. I think what is important for us. And so, my dear brother, if you join me, and I'll be coming to San Nicolas soon because I'm putting together that tomorrow having a meeting for this Grand Judah and Invadian friendship, which of course will be seeking numbers from the diaspora to invite some of you people to be part of that friendship, where we will be going to Sester Bridge. We'll be 3 days in Nima County and 3 days in Grand Judah, bring all the actors together and to see that rekindle that friendship. So I hope you'll be part of that peace initiative. But again, what we hope for Liberia is for Liberia to be peaceful. It's for Liberians to love each other and work together. You know, we're looking for an inclusive Liberia. This is what I'm working to achieve. And if I ever get a chance to do that, you will see that my word is given, and I'm going to work towards that because I love to gain success. But thank you very much for your question, and I hope I answer it.
Thank you, Ambassador Weah. Because of the time, Ambassador has 3 more minutes. Ambassadors, to those of you in the queue, I would like to extend my apologies to you people. We are not taking any more calls. We have to go to the ambassador to get his closing statement tonight. Ambassador Weah, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, let me use the occasion to thank you and to say thanks to the listeners and all of the people that brought forward the questions. I think all the questions are legitimate questions, you know, and the recommendation is been taken, and I hope that I will meet with all of these folks for us to sit down and put all of the ideas together in the interest of our country, and just hope that we can work together. But again, the CDC USA and the CDC Liberia are one entity, and I just hope that the chairman knows that and make sure that he work, cordially and with the party here in Liberia is important. I always told the chairman that there's a need, for a cohesive and coherent working relationship. So I hope he understands that. But again, I hope for peace for all of you people, and I hope that in America, in the diaspora, we have our leadership structure there. I mean, the Liberian organization, and I hope that we can all sit for for that organization to be a one unit, because I know about ULAP. I know how the little problem they have, but I hope we can fix that all Liberians will get together under one umbrella. So, and our initiatives, our program will all be together. This is where we can foster peace. We can bring our people together, and I'm willing to be part of that organizational process. But again, I wish all of you peace, and I hope that you put yourself together, to continue to breed ideas, to bring it on board how our country will move forward. And I wish you all the best. And I hope to talk to you people again, to all of the people that never had a chance to talk to me. That tomorrow is another day, after tomorrow is another day, but I will do my best to interact with you people online, and get your views, get my views. I'm not a person that don't want to listen. I want to listen, and I also want to state my point. But again, we are all one. Let us see ourselves as one Liberian and work together for the common good of our country. So all the best, Munya, CDC Munya, and God bless you all, and thank you very much. I hope you continue to make this show a better show. To all of your executives, and I think you're doing a good work for the online media entity, where we can reach our people in the diaspora. Thank you very much. Anything that you need to make the media entity a beautiful one, don't hesitate. We'll be there to help. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ambassador Weah. Ladies and gentlemen, there we have it. Those of you who thought that Ambassador Weah is not a politician, you got something coming for you. Ambassador Weah just gave you a taste of what politics is today. Some people even said that he was never going to come to the debaters. Here we are. Today we made a list, 986 callers. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to say thank you very much for being part of the show. Ambassador Weah, it was a pleasure having you on. We wish you good luck. And good night to everyone.
The pleasure is mine. God bless you.
Good night to everyone. Bye-bye.
Good night.